Hey guys, it's Colin from Red, White, and Boosted, and actually this is our new channel called Red, White, and Build. And when I say we, I actually mean me and someone you guys haven't met yet. His name is Corey. Corey's a fabricator full-time. I knew that my channel wasn't gonna go anywhere unless I got a fabricator on board. So I've been talking to Corey for like a year about doing a project, and it's really hard to excite him. So I was like, okay, I sent him a couple of Porsche ideas, I sent him some Mercedes ideas, and none of that really struck his fancy. And then one day I was at my other friend Neil's shop. He has a vintage British car shop here in Atlanta, and he had a pair of TR3s from the 50s, Triumph TR3s, and he said I could have them for basically scrap metal. So I bought those two cars and I brought them over here to this kind of farm ranch setup that Corey maintains and lives on. So on the this car right here, this is a TR3. We think it's a 58. Pretty cool. It doesn't have a working engine or trans or anything like that. And then on this side, you guys might notice this car in some of the background of some of my older videos. A guy left this car at my freaking house, went to jail for a year, and told me I could just have the car. So long story short, I'll explain all that later, but the idea is to do a Frankenstein.
We're gonna merge both of these vehicles together.
So yeah, let's get down to telling them all about what we're got going on here.
What do we got going on here, Colin?
All right, Tim Toolman Taylor. Okay, look. So this is the TR3, and as you'd imagine, just like every other British sports car, it's pretty rusty and it's had a rough life. But the whole motivation behind this was that this car got left in my shop or at my house, and I didn't have a title to it for a year, and I didn't think I was going to be able to get a title. That might have changed recently, but nonetheless, we're still going forward with this. In Georgia, you can title any car before 1985 very easily. All you need is a T22B form and insurance. T22B form isn't just like, oh, you can go steal a car and tag it. It still has to be signed off by a police officer, and they do have to run an NCIC through the national database to make sure that it's never been stolen. So this car, we're going to get a T22B form. We're going to title this car, but have the whole underpinnings of the SLK underneath it. So this car does have an engine and transmission. They are pretty good. I mean, TR3s and TR4 engines, I have a TR4 that I drive, are very similar and not awful, but I would say the top speed's somewhere around 90 miles an hour on a good day. I actually recently popped number 4 cylinder in my TR4 going 100, so it's not great. But nonetheless, it's very, very light. I think that car in its full capacity with the steel frame, because it is body on frame, weighs like 2,000 pounds. This car weighs a lot more than that. This is a 2001 Mercedes-Benz SLK 320 or a 230 compressor, which means it is super duper charged. So super duper charger plus very light car plus Mercedes, you guys can joke, but reliability with ABS brakes is gonna be pretty cool. So today I think that Corey and I talked, and we were just gonna take the body off.
So what we're gonna do with this AMG, because we still do have a lot of good parts on the vehicle, even though it's been T-boned on this side, we still have good stuff around the car. So we're gonna very carefully take off what's still good to use and maybe try to get some money back. But then we're gonna start really getting down into the structural components of this vehicle to see where we can make our cuts, because we do have to shorten the SLK by 6 to 10 inches, somewhere in there, to get the wheelbases to line up. The other part is how wide both of these cars are. They're nowhere near each other. So the Triumph is a lot thinner than the SLK, so we have to do a lot of weight reduction here. I mean, basically we're going to be cutting this car all the way down on the inside of the rockers. So it should be pretty interesting to see what kind of understructure we have to use and be able to get this other body dropped onto this.
Agreed. Okay, so Corey, you just want to get started and start pulling off some of the body and the hood and all that, so we can put that on Craigslist and make some hella money. That's how we're gonna get rich.
Yeah, hella money.
We're gonna get rich, guys.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so I think today we're just gonna try and cut as much of this car as we can and take off the parts
Well, you know, we could get about $250 just for this right here, you know.
Oh, is that a nice rod?
I think I see a Mercedes emblem on it, so, you know.
That's probably $1,000 at the dealer, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, without further ado, let's get to it. Guys, so we've torn the car down a pretty good amount, as you can see. What we have determined, and I kind of already knew because I have had a lot of these cars, is that the wheelbase is really similar. It's about 6 inches apart. The SLK is a little bit longer, so it kind of works out all right because this car was T-boned, as you guys saw, and there's about 6 inches of actual crumple that we can't straighten. So we'll cut it here, we'll cut it here, we'll take that whole strip out, shorten the body together, put some overlapping strips in it, weld it back together, shorten the drive shaft, shorten the brake system, shorten the fuel lines, and this car is basically a 6 inch shorter SLK. The reason I chose the SLK, number one, it was left on my doorstep, and two, this chassis is perfect for doing a V8 swap later on. I don't know that we'll need it or want it, but if we do, it's there. And we can put in a 55 NA, a 430 NA, or even the compressor engine. So that would be wild, especially in a car like this, especially in a car that has 165 wide tires. Now, cool other things that I knew before getting into this is that some cars have a gas tank here, some have them on the back. SLKs have them behind the seats, just like the TR3. So it's going to be cool to see how we can make this filler cap work with the position that the SLK gas tank is in. That's actually really pricey and super easy to sell.
Yeah,
you just take off these.
Okay. So
and then this plate comes off. See, it twists.
Yeah, no problem. We'll do that.
Wait, it might even be free already. Yeah, it's free already.
Oh, boom. Perfect. Well, I'll be nice to that then.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, there actually is some salvageable parts. This is the hydraulic top compressor. So yeah, if you see this video and you need parts off an SLK, a 170, we can probably hook you up.
Alright guys, so we're making some pretty good headway disassembling the SLK here. I've been messing around here in the back, getting all the trim out. We got the top off, so now we're just kind of working around the gas tank, making sure we're getting everything clear on the sides and out of the back here. And we're going to start working on the interior. We've got the front pretty much stripped down. We're going to hold off on doing anything with the sides until we really get into the interior and see where we're going to start chopping this down. So there's going to be a lot of measurements to make, a lot of things to line up, and we should be good to go and start getting this ready for cut and swap. So like Colin was saying earlier, I don't normally get into some of the different projects he's been presenting me, but this was kind of cool. I grew up with Triumphs, had a Triumph motorcycle, so these little roadsters are pretty neat. Okay, slamming a body onto a supercharged 4-cylinder should be pretty fun. So we're gonna make that happen. Yeah, we'll be back to you guys once we get a little bit more of this disassembled. Probably go do a ride bare bones. All right, see y'all.
Yeah, let's measure from the cowl, the back of the cowl to the rear wheel arch.
All right.
Because see how I'm saying? From here to here. Because that's gonna kind of determine where we make our cut, right?
So more than likely, you know, all of this is gonna come out too.
Yeah, all of this is coming out. We're gonna cut it right here. So if we cut it right there, that's what I was saying. Can we measure from the back of that cowl to the center line of this wheel arch on that car so that we know what the relation is there? That's pretty close.
I'm gonna go with 6 foot.
Okay.
To the very peak of the windshield there.
Okay. Six foot, 72 inches?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that's
Significantly less. Huh?
You're about centered?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at like 55.
No shit.
Yeah.
Measure the wheelbase again.
87.
Okay, let's go measure this one. On the good side.
94. 87 to 94.
87 to 94. 7 inches. It means we cut 7 inches out of the middle of it.
We did quite a bit of weight reduction today. Still got the interior in it. Now it's just a matter of trying to figure out how we're gonna cut this down and make this thing fit over the top of it. We've been going over measurements, trying to figure out exactly how we're gonna do this. Of course, Colin just wants to cut some stuff up. I want to cut some stuff up too. There's nothing better than cutting up a car, especially when it runs, especially when it's a Mercedes. So we need to take out the rest of the interior. You know, we got to see what's underneath all of this, and we were just looking up under the car to see if we can reduce this tunnel just a little bit. Ultimately, the Triumph could fit inside of here. So being that the Triumph can fit inside of the actual car here, we're gonna have to do a lot of squeezing. So we're trying to figure out where we can take some width out from here, but the car also has to get shortened this way too. So it's just trying to line the wheelbases up, trying to line the dash up and the engine bay with everything that has to fit inside of this, inside of the Triumph. Ultimately, I think we're going to lose all of the dash here. We're trying to figure out what to do about this back here, because it will have to probably get moved, but then again, everything that's under this tank is suspension oriented. So like the structural framing that holds the suspension up in the rear is underneath this tank. So we can't just move these seats back, move the tank back. We'd actually have to do something to re-support the suspension. So we're gonna have to look at that a little bit better. But this is a good start. I mean, basically we're gonna just do a little more deconstruction, see what's going on underneath, and pull some more accurate measurements and get to it. So, appreciate you guys being around today. This is gonna be a great collaboration with Mr. Colin. It's gonna be a lot of work, but also a lot of fun trying to figure out all these cuts. I've never heard of anybody trying to do this one before. I know we've seen some pretty cool swaps recently, but this is going to be interesting if we can make this thing happen, because this is going to be like the fastest go-kart you've ever seen once it gets done. So I think that'll do it for us today here on Red, White, and Build. We look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. See y'all later.